Hi, Eddie.
Hello, good afternoon. Good to see you, Addis.
Good to see you, Eddie.
All right. Uh, Hello, everybody. We're so glad that you have decided to spend this afternoon together with us. And today we have prepared a very special topic how to organize awesome tech events. And we also have special guests. But before we start, should we share some details about recent tech events we joined?
But first,
Addis?
I first have a question for you. Why are you in front of the white wall background? It's not so typical for you.
It's not so typical. Long story short, it's a co-working space.
You are Eddie is joining us from co-working space because she basically broke her router at home, so she's working in a co-working space. But it's all good. We will
It's
do
all
this
good. We are here. I'm here for you. No matter what's happening, I'm here
no
for you.
matter. However, in the meantime, you have delivered wonderful and brilliant collab days Poland. I have not been this year. I could not have been. I couldn't have been in Warsaw with you. But what I have heard, you guys rocked.
Uh, thank you so much for sharing this feedback from the others who probably
Mhm.
joined. Yes, it was. It's about 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks, when me and my team we had Collab Days Poland organized in Warsaw in Microsoft Office. Typical tech event for Microsoft community, for Microsoft 365 enthusiasts and also Power Platform enthusiasts. And in total, so including participants, sponsors, and organizers, and everybody else, around 170 people were in Microsoft
Nice.
Office. So the biggest event so far. Yeah, it was really successful. So we're super proud of that. But I know that you couldn't join Collab Days Poland because of the reasons.
Yes.
So tell me about your uh, tech events experience from
So
the last
while you guys have been
days.
busy organizing collab days Poland Bar, so I have for myself, I had now 2 weeks of speaking experience. I have in the same time I have been in Dallas for the really well awesome organized North American Collaboration Summit, Cloud and Collaboration Summit. I'm sorry, which is our sister conference in North America from the European Collaboration Summit, from the European Cloud Summit, organized also by the group of the passionate tech lovers and tech event organizers. So it was great. It was in they call it Dallas, but it was actually in Irving, between Dallas and Fort Worth. Beautiful venue, 400 people, and parallelly with that event, in another part of the building, there was also another tech event where I have not been speaking, Inotech Dallas. And what was interesting, both of those events in parallel have been using run events to for organization of their events. So I was obviously just keeping an eye of everything if everything was going fine. It was all good, but it was just nice thing to be in Dallas, to be in Irving, to be in that really great venue that we have been, and to see that everything was working fine. After that, I went to Bosnia, where a couple of people who you all know, also know very well have organized yet another tech event. You see, there's a pattern in this webinar. MS Community Conference Bosnia and Herzegovina, 300 people, also a total success. That was really nice. For the first time, they moved it out from Sarajevo to a smaller town, 50 kilometers in the south, to a beautiful venue. It's a conference center in the middle of the nature, so it was really nice. Their idea was, let's get everybody out of the town, because when people are in the city, they will come here 1 or 2 sessions and they will just go
Mhm.
to after their business. That's of course not possible when you displace the event to somewhere which is not directly in the city. So this worked very nice. One thing which I liked there, which I really liked there, is they have gave that event was not free. They gave free tickets to the students of the high schools and of universities.
Oh,
So
that's
among those
nice.
300 people, there were like 70 people who were either pupils or students there.
Mhm.
And yeah, it was fun to talk to really young people who are who just decided about their career move or are still about to decide about career move, and it was I have found that very refreshing. I have found that to be really cool. Do I need to mention that they have also been using run events to organize their event? I think I didn't. Doesn't matter. So it's those were 2 busy weeks, and I have been, yeah, since yesterday I'm back in Germany.
Beautiful, beautiful. Respect, Adis. And yeah, today's webinar about awesome tech events. We have a lot of experience gathered in last days. And on the top of that, for today webinar, we decided to invite our friend, our special guest, Aurélien Clere, uh, who is from France. Welcome, welcome. Microsoft MVP, CTO at Dynagil, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah,
and of
good.
course, experts with Dynamics 365. Welcome, Adrian.
Thanks. I'm
Welcome.
really happy to be here. So thanks for the invitation. And I hope I can give my feedbacks, explanation on how we can really organize the good event. I hope we try to do it in France. So yeah, happy to share my knowledge or how we deal with that. Yeah.
So
Beautiful.
Eddie was telling about your professional titles and everything, but what people maybe do not know, you are the brain or one of the brains behind
Mm.
the Power Platform French Summit, which is
Yeah.
the most important event in
Mm.
France about the Microsoft Power Platform. Yet another tech event, and you see
Yeah.
that there's this topic of tech events going through this, and we
Yeah.
have been
So
following. Yeah, and can you tell us maybe a bit about the Power Platform
yes.
French Summit?
So yeah, good point. Thanks. Well, in fact, on my side, personally, I do some kind of community event in Microsoft Word, of course, since just before the COVID, in fact, so in 2019 globally, and I was really going to my first event physically in Europe globally. I think my first community event was in London in 2019, and I was really, checking how they organize it, such events, So you always see you need inspiration, of course, when you want
Correct.
to try to do your first one. And in fact, I really enjoy it because I really like to share my experience. I really like to gather all people in one place to freely or even just with a little fee to really check and share my all the knowledge we have in Power Platform. And in fact, some Microsoft people just before the COVID, before the lockdown, the famous one, uh, they asked me, "Oh, but we don't have anything in Power Platform side in France." And I said, "Oh, okay, why not?" And I was MVP just at this time, and lockdown, bam. So of course, the first edition was complex because of course everything were completely closed. So the first edition was really only online, and so maybe it was quite complex, to organize because I was really going to the physical events back then. So I know I was really okay. I know how normally to organize it in physical, but now it's
Yeah, just
all
and
online.
suddenly online.
Yeah.
Yes, yes,
So we
completely
had
new
to change
experience.
everything globally. And but I think it was a good experience, and we had a lot of people, and that's why we said, oh, in fact, we have a that was the first one in online only, and in fact, we had a lot of people globally checking the event in real time, even if they were not in France. But we have a lot of French people in the world, not only in France.
Of
to
course.
And the goal was really also, that was my opinion, and that was I really wanted to do that. It was of course, as you can notice, I speak English, hopefully well, but also, French people, they lack French spelling. So it was okay. We have a lot of tech events, like you said, Adis, but was really, to try to have a. Of course, we had international speakers that can come, but mainly we try to propose a unique experience, of course, and we try to, of course, to gather and to have a lot of French speakers, mostly. And yeah, that's how I think the event is quite now famous. I don't know, but and yeah, because yeah, we try to each year to go deeper and to propose a unique experience for French people. Now, of course, we are back. We are in hybrid mode, so we do all stuff physically, but we also broadcast it virtually because now it's that was we learned with the COVID. Of course, it was true. Even if we do it back in physical, we try to also to broadcast it for people that can't come to Paris, that are also on the local region in France or even in Quebec or in Africa. We have also a very far away country in France like Polynesia and all stuff like this. So yeah, that's why we do it.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Mm,
I know that your last event took place in December
mm,
2023. Thanks to that, the hybrid mode, I had a chance to see the keynote. It was in French, but thankfully I'm aware of speaking French a bit, let's call it this way. But I'm very interested with the one thing you have said, because you have said that was the event dedicated for French-speaking
mm,
attendees, but in the same time, you must present content in French. And I'm
mm,
very curious, what was your strategy to select the speakers
mm,
for your event? How do you choose them? We know
mm,
that the entire event preparation takes a lot of time. So
mm.
what was your approach while chasing those speakers and finding, the best persons and the best content to be presented? And we know
Uh,
technology is changing on the top of that.
Ah bon? Oh no, no, Microsoft don't change at all.
No.
No, no,
Wink, wink.
they don't rename the product. Yeah, but the good point, very long one, but I will try to summarize. That's yeah, you are right. It was maybe a challenge. Hopefully, I didn't say it, but of course, last year we it was the first year where we were using Run Events, of course, the platform. So it was really helpful, especially for this topic about selecting speakers or attracting them. Is of course to really explain what we are looking at really in terms of content. On our side, we have always 2 days, so business days and technical days. So it's important for us to really categorize correctly session, especially if you are an organizer. You want also to have a good panel, a good tag to categorize event sessions, sorry, especially when you want to review them. You know that, okay, of course, Power Platform, because it's a Power Platform event, we have a lot of components in Power Platform for apps, for automate, etc. Of course, we try also to let's say to have a good not to have too much Power Apps session and not on and too less session on Power Automate. So of course, by using Run Events, we have managed to have 1 or 2% that are experts on our organization teams that know very well Power Apps, that can really review those topics. Whereas we have also some kind of people that are more expert on Power Automate or Power Pages, and that's why Run Events was really helpful to let's say to have a good. I don't remember the name on the Run Events feature, sorry, but the
It's
panel.
okay, it's okay, it's okay. But
The
at least there
panel.
was a person dedicated to really review the content and make sure that
Yeah.
the selected sessions are,
Mm.
aligned with different factors.
Yes, and also we always say that, of course, if that's why we have used those, so that it was for the language was really important for us. Of course, we had review. I think we had 200 sessions submitted, and we
Wow.
have only had to select only 75. So yeah,
It's a
always
challenge.
every year we had a tough topic. It's always complex to choose on our side, because it's really complex. Sometimes this is a new speaker, so we maybe it will be great that to have also new speakers, to have also female speakers, to have diversity, to have all those stuff. But it's always complex to have also international speaker, because as you know, it's just my opinion, but we have a lot of poor platform, as I said before, in Europe or even in the US, talking about that in English session. And I don't know, but of course I don't French people, of course, they really fine. I know that because I'm French, but if they go to this event, they will most likely, if they have a choice, go to the French session and not the English one, because the English one, even maybe I can see it into if it was also recorded or broadcasted, I can maybe go to YouTube and check the same session of the same speaker doing it in last year in another event in Europe in English. So that's why, as I said, we try to promote a little more French speakers, but because it's a French event, and if I want to go to an English event, of course we have a lot of one in Europe, and I can go there if I want it. So yeah, but if we notice that, of course, for this typical new features that Microsoft have released, and we want really to have a session about it, and we didn't have, because sometimes, yeah, we don't have a session talking about new features we really want as an organization team to have in the agenda. Yeah, we, of course, in this way, yeah, of course, we will pick someone that have an international famous speaker, because of course sometimes maybe you have noticed that also is, yeah, if you have an international famous speaker that will come, can also attract people to come. So yeah, it's always a right balance, to summarize, to find the
Exactly, right balance. This is a very good word. Just Adis, I'm just curious about your experience very shortly while selecting speakers. What's the pattern? European
Yes,
Collaboration Summit,
well,
European Cloud Summit, huge conferences. How to deal with all of this?
yes, for combined European Collaboration Summit, we had over 1,000 submissions. For Cloud Summit, we had like 600 submissions. This was both a lot to do, but
Overwhelming.
we have a few unwritten rules that we always try to keep. Um, of course, the established speakers, they sell your conference. I mean, this is who people know. People want to see stars. People want to see legends. But then again, if you have stars and legends year after year, it's becoming boring. There's only so much times you can watch Rolling Stones. I mean, okay, that's not true. I could watch Rolling Stones every day, but you get my point. So what we are trying to do, I'm sorry, we are trying to always have 30% of new speakers who have never been speaking at Collab Summit or Cloud Summit before. So we think this is a good measure to give new people a chance to discover new stars, to discover new Rolling Stones, basically in that one. But to have just some always new faces who will bring new ideas, who will bring new dynamics or whatever there is. The other thing that Aurélien has mentioned right now is we also need nowadays to balance uh, the, to see that our speaker population also represents our attendee population. So to have a proportional numbers of different nations in Europe. I mean, we are a European conference, so we want to have speakers from all different parts of Europe, including yeah, from Spain basically to the European East. From Portugal, do not forget Portugal. They're even more west than Spain. To the European East, including Finland, the Baltic countries, Poland, and everything in between. Obviously, to have proportional number of all the sexes and everything which is going there. Basically, the speaker population represents the attendee population, and this is also how attendees can feel more at home. How attendees can feel more relate to speakers who are trying, who are being there, who are presenting the sessions. Those are two things that we really do pay attention at. Of course, while at the same time balancing the topics, the topics about the complexity of sessions. You cannot only entry level sessions, but you also cannot have only level 400 sessions. There needs to be a healthy mix of introductory sessions, deep technical dives, and the adoption sessions, end user sessions, business sessions. This is all what needs to be there for a good, successful conference. Since Collab Summit is really growing from year to year, I guess we are not doing everything wrong in that direction. So it's kind of going in the direction where we want to be.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, something clicked in my head, so that was very very good one.
Nice.
Thank you, Aurélien. Thank you, Adis. Just a short comment to our audience: if you have a question or you have any other hint how to select speakers, how to identify, how to manage them, please drop a line in the comments. We are just here for you to keep talking. Okay, we covered the part related with speakers. And now, when I think about the conference, the other topic which comes to my mind is, of course, sponsors. Because without sponsors, we wouldn't be able to manage our events. I can just talk about my community free event. Without sponsors, well, we can just dream about having a conference. And I'm very curious how you are managing sponsorships, what kind of packages you offer them. If we have, if you can share some hints how to attract sponsors, and how it works in your case. I also can add my 5 cents at the end. So who wants to share something as first?
Well, I can start if you want.
Okay. Yes, sure, please.
Yeah. So again, a good point. Always
Uh-huh.
also, yeah, it's sometimes difficult, but
Mhm.
especially of course when you do your first edition, of course, because
Mhm.
you need to you need to yeah to really have a good network. On my side, it was really that, of course, because we have do it yeah we have done it, but it was less complex, of course, because first edition was only online, so we didn't add good requirements in terms of in terms of price. So we have also tried to have a good price for sponsor packages. But of course, when we have done it, in a physical way, in a hybrid mode, of course, we have increased a little more, but that's fine, I think, for me, because of course they have more attractive package. Of course, after second, third, fourth, five. Now this year it will be the 5.1 edition. Of course, you can really the more of course the event is attracted. Where you have a lot of people coming now. In fact, it's more to try to do a good packages. Yeah.
Mhm.
That really help to have a good return of investment, because it's of course
Mhm.
all those kind of sponsor partners or ISV, they of course it's a marketing
They
budget.
expect something, right? They
They
expect
expect
something.
really to
So,
have a real good return of investment. And so that's why we try always, of course, at each event. We have done it like 2 weeks ago for the last
mhm.
edition, was also to collect feedbacks of them, because my side, I have constructed this kind of packages, but really based on. But I'm not a marketing expert, so also I am a volunteer, of course, as you or like I did. We try to as a volunteer, because we do it as a volunteer, to this kind of event, and it's always difficult to be okay. What really need those kind of external sponsors, what they really need, and of course by the networking, by talking to them, to see also how other events are doing it. Also, again, inspiration, it's always a good thing. Is also, I know that this kind of package could be great for them. Also, we try also to, based on the feedback we ask for them, is to maybe remove this item on the package, because I don't know, um, my side, which is typically again French. So also it's important to say, okay, this European event, they do it like this, but it's not like this in France. Like to have stand. Um,
Mhm.
Stand is not really useful in France globally, what I have seen so far. It's
Okay.
a good item, but it's really not the best one. Really, in France, what they really need is to have time to do networking. So, in fact, when you are on sponsors during lunchtime, it's the best way to do networking. So you can really try during lunchtime to promote them globally. And
Mhm.
yeah, so that's why it's important, based on during each year to try how we can really do and build a good package for them. And based on the feedback they gave us, because they are marketing people, they are better than us. It's another yeah work. So yeah, how we have deal it, and so far so good, I think. So because we always add enough, yeah, we don't have a lot of, it's an association, of course, that deal with that. It's a bizarre French community, and always every year we have the good amount of money to to, let's say, to build
be
this
spent.
session. Yes.
Cool. Thank you, Aurélien. Very good insights. I'm also curious what Adit thinks about this part related to the sponsors.
It's an extremely difficult one. Basically, building relations sponsors with sponsors like building any other business relations. I mean, I know some of those people for 15 years now, and those are the sponsors with whom you can talk openly, and whom you can ask, hey, what was working for you the last time? What wasn't working for you last time? How does it work? How does it? What would you like us to do more? What would you like us to do better? So, as Aurélien said, it is listening to the feedback. It is improving from year after year. What really is the most difficult is to offer right packages to the sponsors, so that each of them is equally attractive, and that fits different budgets that different sponsors have. Sometimes we do it better, sometimes we do it less good, but we're trying really to appeal to the sponsors to actually to listen to them what they need. The first thing is like, what do they need? What is their main goal to achieve at an event? Once when you have heard and when you have understood their main motivation, this is then how you can tailor your packages to suit to exactly to those sponsors. If sponsors are only there for the HR reasons, basically looking for the new employees, as Aurélien said, maybe the stand, the booth is not the best option for them. However, if they are presenting products, they will probably need to go for a booth where they can do demos and stuff. So this is basically where you need to listen, to understand the needs, and then based on those needs to make the packages which you are going to offer to the sponsors.
Totally. Beautiful. It's beautiful what you said. I fully agree, because I also had a situation at my event where we were offering kind of packages we thought that they are the best, but basically sponsors said we don't need roll-ups, we don't need stand, but we need, for instance, any sponsor session, which is not typical sponsor session like presenting the software, but at least showing our competences. We are not there to scan leads, for instance, because community event, it's more about technical people who really are about the technology. This is their passion, but we want to show them that we can be the potential employer for them. We want to have some brand awareness. We can gather new people on board. So those kind of things are important, and I fully agree with you that it's a matter of listening and also creating some custom packages for our sponsors, just to make sure that everybody's happy. Just
I will just
five
add
cents.
one thing. It's more technical audience. As you know, for the Collab Summit, we have like balanced basically 50% audience, 50% is technical, 50% is more on the business side,
Yes.
or adoption side, or project marketing, or project management side. I'm sorry, I'm kind of have a
Oh, good.
sore throat for a few days now. We have sponsors who are, for example, into building products which help development on top of Microsoft 365, Power Platform, whatever. You know what? They love the technical audience. And then we've got sponsors who are, for example, in the backup business, in the Office 365 backup, in the governance business. A lot of sponsors in the governance business. They, of course, tend more to the business audience, which will be their typical buyer. So I would not say that technical audience is not good for sponsors. It is. It's just maybe different type of the sponsors. If the sponsor is there for the HR reasons, they will not care about business audience at all.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
So we are back to why are the sponsors there? Listen to you.
Mm-hmm.
I would say if it's possible to listen to them in advance to see what are your goals. Why are you coming to Paris, to Wiesbaden, to Warsaw? Why are you there? And then try to cater to them. Try to help them to reach their goals.
Exactly. Well said. Thank you, Adis. I can see in our comments that Lucy, she commented that that's a good point, as I have a conference coming in June and it hasn't been easy to get sponsors and attendees. I'm curious, Lucy, how's the situation is going? Keep us posted. I would love to hear, we would love to hear more about your experience. Okay, but Lucy mentioned attendees. Without attendees, again, making conference doesn't make sense, right? Attendees, so we're selling our conferences. Doesn't matter if it's a free conference or paid conference. People are needed to have such a event. And I'm simply curious, Aurélien, what are your tactics to sell your conference and make the rooms full?
Yeah, we have we have changed a lot, in fact, in the past few years because, yeah, as I said before, it was only online, after hybrid, and again in hybrid now. So for me, was really to attract and promote the session we have, the content, because of course, if I am an attendee, I first go to a community event because there is a good session. It's that's maybe the first one, but that's useful to remember maybe. So yeah, it's really to promote sessions, the speakers we have, the keynotes, etc. So really to attract and promote the content first. For me, the content is, for my side, my opinion, the first part, in which why the people we will come or not. Especially, in our side, it's during weekdays we organize it. So you need also to, if you are working, you will need to ask maybe your manager, could I join this session, this event? Sorry, because yeah, I will not be there for 1 or 2 days. So that's why you really need. If I am the manager, maybe I will approve that my employee can go to these technical events because I know that he will learn something, he will do networking, So always content
giving
is
the
always
arguments.
be good arguments to attract. On our side in France, it's mostly this. Also based on the previous topic about sponsor, because also if you have sponsors, of course they will also invite not all of their employees, but of course sometimes they will, as a goal, of course, because you are a sponsor of this event, you will maybe invite not all, but most of the team of the Power Platform. On our side, it's always like this. So you attract attendees like this. So you have to, also my side was really to ask sponsors, but not to be only sponsors on our event, but also to try to promote our event, because if they promote the event, it's a win-win. It's a win for us because there are a lot of people, and win for us. Sorry. So yeah, and last but not least, we are really using marketing strategy. As I said, we try to do it because normally it's another work, but we try by using, of course, Dynamics, because we know very well Dynamics tools. We try to do marketing communication, to have newsletters sent to all people. Now we have also, which run events. Now, thanks to run events, now we have also, the session check-in. So we know that this guy or this girl had done this kind of, session pattern. He has done. We know, these people are really, they love Power Apps because they are really going to all Power Apps. Of course, for the next marketing, for the next marketing communication, we will send a more personalized content. So yeah, we try to do it like this. Before the run events, we didn't have this kind of knowledge or data globally. So that's also a good part of how to promote and to and really also the hybrid mode for me, because I don't know, we are more than one. I think we were like 1,200 attendees last year, but 400 were physical, the rest were hybrid, virtual. Sorry. So as you can see, we are hybrid is always broadcasted, because also when you broadcast it, of course, attendees can, even they are not in Paris, they can't come. They are
it's natural promotion.
they are not feeling great. They don't want to come, or they are not available. They are in holidays. Of course, they maybe want to see it after the event. So by using StreamYard like we use right now, we can really broadcast it in YouTube in an easy way, and we have the record. We have the live automatically, and also the replay automatically. So, by using this kind of technology, this was also helpful for us to attract more attendees. And in fact, I know that based on the fact that some of them were past few years, they were only here virtually. They said, "Oh, this is a really good event. Next year I will come physical." It's so that's why we have tried to do it. And
cool.
There was a question. There was a question from Aurélien Clere that Anto has posted. Anto is our good fee in the good fairy in the background. Good fairy in the background of this call. Aurélien is asking, can you give us some good creative example how you satisfied partners and sponsors, because it's a very demanding topic. Aurélien couldn't be more right with this one. I remember one from 2019. This was also in Wiesbaden. The last time we have been in Wiesbaden, there was a Swiss company, I'm not saying names now, who had a product for the Microsoft 365 governance. Basically, they were there. One of the main messages is like, you can manage your teams, and you can stop the explosion of the teams in your Microsoft 365 tenants while drinking morning coffee. And their whole marketing was around coffee. Coffee was really on their all marketing materials and everything. And people who knew about them knew them about coffee. So we're talking about them. Okay, you will not have a booth, but how about you running all the coffee stations in Wiesbaden? Which they did. There was a coffee bar. Whoever joined us in Wiesbaden will see the central coffee bar when they just enter the venue. But there were two coffee bars on the sides of the expo hall. They had their people playing baristas, brewing coffees, and asking people about teams. 2019 Teams was the big topic around everything. This worked brilliantly. They were later calling me and I was like, okay, this was a really cool idea. So you can go. I mean, it takes work. I mean, especially now, like now we have 70 sponsors to listen to 70 requirements, to listen to 70 stories, to listen to all of them. It takes work. But then again, if you do the work, they will come the next year. It's basically what I'm trying. And each good service, regardless what we are doing, each good service demands work, and it's we just need to see it like a work that needs to be done. So this is, for example, one thing, one creative thing which when Ogden asked this question and when Ante posted, I was like, this is the first thing that came to my mind. 2019. They were also the less prominent examples afterwards, but this one was kind of. I was looking at it. I was like, okay, this really is cool. But then again, Eddie, let's move on to the back to the attendees and what Aurélien said. How to get attendees? How to get?
I'm very curious.
We are, and Aurélien knows that, and we are our main focus of investment right now in Run Events is helping organizers to sell out conferences. Our main focus is about marketing, and we have seen, obviously we are using our dog food always first one. We have created this what we call influencer marketing in Run Events, where we basically enable speakers, attendees, and sponsors. And I will come back to Aurélien later to your comment about sponsors promoting the conference, to basically share their attendance of the conference with 2 clicks. Because we all know the drill. You create beautiful speaker graphics.
Yeah.
And you upload them all in one folder. You send email to speakers, please find your graphics.
They
So
don't
what
do it.
speaker needs done is to find the graphics there, to download it, to think of the post they need to put in all different networks, and to think when is the best time to upload it to those networks. It takes time. Anything that takes more than 30 seconds time, they're going to leave it for later when they have more time. The point in the universe's timeline when they are having more time is usually never. So what we did is that with this influencer marketing, you can create templates where, and you send this template to the invite with 1 click. This template is changing their speaker card, and basically they can their photo is put there. Or actually, I could actually. We thought that we are not going to show anything, but I'm actually going to show something here.
Yes, please. I wanted to ask. I was too shy to ask for it, but it's something what really rocks.
Anto, give me 20 seconds. I'm going to share something on the screen, so you will need to let me to share the screen. Right. So I'm going to show you right now the. You are in the show.
Everybody who is watching, trust me, this is really game-changing feature.
Okay.
For real.
Yeah, but right now my browser is playing games with me. I will get there. Present, share screen. Yes, share screen. I want you to share the screen, entire screen, and this will be the screen. So I have searched here, join me at European Collaboration Summit. This is just a LinkedIn search. And if you see here, there are quite some of the cards. Like I'm speaking at European Collaboration Summit. This also I'm speaking. You see from all the different speakers. We have another French speaker here. Aurélien might know this guy, Gilles Pamier, legend. People from all over the world. It's not only speakers; it's also attendees. Their message was like, "Join me at the European Collaboration Summit." Why is this important? Because you will see that most of them have very similar text here. Why is this important? They don't need to think about text. We give them the default template text. They can use it as is, or they can change that text. They can put something else. They need to click 2 times on yes button. Once to start the campaign, and wants to allow this campaign to be posted on their LinkedIn feed. Total amount of effort for them is less than 20 seconds. Okay, if they want to edit their message, then it's a bit longer, but it's their personal choice to edit their message. If I click here now on Amanda's banner, and this has been created for her. Our designer has only created the framework, the shell, the template, her photo, her name, her country, and even the voucher code have been automatically added to this campaign. So what does it mean? We are removing this burden from her to doing this work. And when you remove the burden, then she's actually going to do that. She's not going to keep it for later because it's immediately done for her. And now I'm her follower on LinkedIn. I click on Amanda's banner. I'm coming to European Collaboration Summit. Then I go to buy tickets, and I will see immediately Amanda's voucher applied to my ticket. So I'm immediately getting the discount. So I even know how much engagement there is as an organizer, and how much tickets have been sold to that. We have been counting yesterday. For European Collaboration Summit, we have sold almost 70 tickets to those campaigns, and for European Cloud Summit, which is somewhat smaller, 35 tickets. So we had over 100 tickets sold for the conference for this campaign, which has cost us nothing.
Zero
It cost us a little
euro.
bit of designer work.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
imagine how much you need to pay to Google or Facebook or LinkedIn to get 100 sales for everybody who's
Mhm.
organizing the conference. So this has been our really field of investment, a lot investment in the run events in the past months. We also do the tracking of the sales which go through Google, Facebook, and these other standard channels. When you sell something through Google, we are able to show you, hey, this ticket has been sold to the Google campaign X. So we know we can tie it one to one, and increasingly we see ourselves in run events as a platform which is not only helping you to plan and to deliver the conference, but also to actually sell it. This is something. This is, I think, quite a cool way how to attract attendees, how to showcase, because you are leveraging networks of your speakers whose followers are seeing that through your attendees, and then you have their peers, their colleagues, their co-workers, their whatever, who are seeing that they're joining there, and to the sponsors, it's usually their customers. However, because we need to speak truth, and only the truth in this one, we have seen the least engagement from the sponsors. I still cannot really quantify and explain myself why is it like that, because you would think they would actually be the
Push the
most compelled.
hardest. Yeah.
They would be
Yeah.
the most compelled to do this.
Yeah.
But except for 2 or 3 very engaged sponsors, we actually see very little sponsor engagement in this one. We do, however, see a lot of speaker and a lot of attendee engagement. And this is
Excellent.
on top of those, what you said, Aurélien. Let's try to leverage sponsors. I find that very difficult because they, in the most of the cases, they just don't engage.
Mhm. This is really, really excellent. I also use that functionality of run events for my community event, and it really worked well. I was simply, overwhelmed with the fact that it's so easy to let people talk about the event and also track what's the outcome without €0 to be spent. All right, good. Thank you so much. I can see just one comment. Yes, so cool. It's really cool. Totally. Okay, let's move on. I'm just curious about your ways of communicating with attendees, because of course they are buying tickets. They are waiting until the end, most probably day before the event. They're trying to figure out what's the venue, how to get there, and all that. And I'm curious how you keep attendees informed. From my experience, newsletters, communicating, thanks to run events as well. But I would like to know how you keep this communication ongoing before the event, during the event, and of course after the event, because this is also important part. So Aurélien, do you have some insights or something to be shared?
Yes. Well, globally, I have globally chosen run events just for that. My
You
opinion
see.
is really, I really
Beautiful.
wanted to have, and I discovered it not last year, 2 years ago for the first no, 1 year ago, sorry, last year also. It was in May. It was in Dynamics Minds. So it was my first experience of run events, but as an attendee. And when I really see the mobile application, during the event, but a real mobile application, not just to see the agenda, but to have other features on the mobile app during the event, to answer the survey, to put my agenda, of course, as a favorite, but also to receive notification from the organization team. Because sometimes whenever you are on the event center, and it's sometimes a large one, huh? And of course organization team, of course they can really send an email, but email is, it's email. And really we have all a mobile phone now. We are always in smartphone and mobile stuff.
It's
So
good to benefit from it.
exactly, really great to benefit on it. And I don't know, even to attract sponsors booths, because maybe you want to say, hey, we are in lunchtime, you can lunch, yeah, great. But you can also to try to see the sponsor booth, to try to see their product, blah blah blah. And so yeah, it's really was really important for me, also to have the session check-in, because they have QR codes, they can flash in before entering the session. So yeah, for me, yeah, was really what I wanted, and why I chose for an events last year. And we will of course using a lot again this year for the next edition. But yeah, well, for me, my of course you have to communicate before the event, of course, we have published the agenda, etc. But also my my most complex part for me was, okay, to really it was different in Dynamics Mind last year. All people were really using the mobile application during the event. In France last year, yeah, it was really, but it was the first time, where we were using Run Events. So we were really promoted. Even the keynote, maybe you have seen it in the keynote. We have I talk a
Yeah.
lot. Please download the mobile app. We can engage you. We can really help you. We can send you communication and useful information during the event. So yeah, and of course to have a and that was maybe why they have chosen and download very often the mobile app was because of the coins we have in Run Event.
Gamification.
It's
Of
always
course.
they will download something if they have something in returns, to try. So
Yeah,
it's always like this.
gamification really was.
Yes.
And at this point of time, I officially want to say that we love Dynamics Minds. They're great people. It's a great event, and whoever is into Microsoft Dynamics or Power Platform, there's the others to be in Europe.
Yeah,
I think we
definitely.
can all say that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, for
Yes.
sure, for sure, for sure.
There's that.
It's in 1 month now.
Yeah, it's 1 month.
Exactly.
It's 1 month now.
Exactly. Adi, so, I have a question to you, because we know communication is important and everything is perfect when it's running as it is. So we have different communication channels, but how to communicate with people if something has changed suddenly? Do you have any example or scenario where the conference was running and something has happened and we had to keep people informed about some changes, for instance?
Really, this is a great question, Eddie, because things are really happening. Those can be very simple changes. In Run Events we have this favoriting session, so we pretty much can judge how much people are going to be into which room. And our content team is doing their best job, their best work, to try to figure out how much attendees will which session draw. But in the same time, we know that it's not possible always to judge it correctly. We make mistakes. We are humans. So we have had 3 situations in the last year's European Collaboration Summit where we were swapping the rooms on the fly in order to accommodate people with more sessions which had more favorites, which have been more favorited, to put them in the larger room, or to put some other session in the smaller room, just to shuffle that around. But then again, if people are not watching in the mobile app in that time or doing a refresh on their mobile app, they are not going to see that. They're going to go to the wrong room, and then they'll say, "Oh, this is the wrong session." Then they will going to look in the mobile app. They are going to be frustrated that they need to go somewhere else. Not a good situation. We come now back to your question, which is that really in 2024, I've got 2 answers for you. One is push notifications. You cover a huge number of people with the push notifications, but not everybody, because some people didn't install the app, some people have muted their phones, some people A, B, C, D. And the second way, which works but it's very intrusive, is the loudspeaker system in the venue. Really, just shout it. We have changed the details room from 1 to 7 because she's got 500 people instead of 50 that we have been envisioning. So this good old-fashioned just shouting, "Hey, we have switched the room," works, but push notifications are also not the worst idea to do, especially because if those people who should maybe hear that are on the pause, they're outside having their coffee, glass of juice, or whatever, they will not hear the inside loudspeaker system in the venue. So those are the people who you hope will get the push notification. You will never reach them all. That's
majority at least.
Yes, but we should be fine by reaching majority. But there's no way we can reach them all.
Perfect. I love to see when the old way of communication is meeting the new way of communication, and we have a beautiful hybrid. Excellent. I also need to say that push notification, they saved my back during the last event. But since we're running out of time, we have 5 minutes, and there's one important topic to be covered. Feedback. We know feedback is extremely important, right?
The session was great. But the room was cold.
Exactly.
I'm giving it 1 star.
and all that, exactly. So we know that feedback is important for organizers to make a better event next time, and maybe to change the temperature in the room. But it's also important for speakers to know if they delivered the content, which was, of course, good, and if you, of course, want to select those speakers for the future. So I'm curious how you are collecting, Aurélien, feedback after your conference, and how you process it later.
Yes. So back then, when we were not using Run Events, we had done it with Microsoft Forms, of course, Microsoft technology, or even customer voice, but it was not really filled by people, because we sent it really 1 week after, and of course, when you are not in was okay now with that's why also we choose the Run Events, because we really wanted to, by notification, especially by push notification, okay, during the event, or most likely, of course, when the event will be most likely the end, like 1 or 2 hours before the end, we sent a notification. And I think again, an inspiration from Dynamics Mind, always inspiration from our events, because they were really they sent and have because if you can do a very good survey with a lot of good questions, it is if the room were cold or too hot, but okay. But if you sent it and no people filled it, it's okay. You don't have enough feedbacks, because of course feedbacks are great, but if it's only if you have a lot of, not a lot of, but again, not all people will fill your survey, but if you have a good proportion of people that will really enter some good feedbacks, it's very useful. Yeah. And what we achieved so far last year was really a good proportion of people that were really give us a good feedbacks, in fact, especially in terms of logistic, organization. And really, it was not a 1 star because it's too cold, like as you said, but it was really, okay, I will put 4 or 5 stars, but you need, the star were not maybe the best, was really, we had the text box where all people really can, enter something which were for us the most important part, because it's here where they can really give us, okay, we need more. There is one room that are very far away. We need better synchronization during on the event center. Or really was really useful to collect feedbacks, and really because of the fact we have sent it very not 1 week after or 1 month after the event, to have a good proportion of feedback.
Cool.
So I need to tell you that now, even for the people who check into the sessions, they will immediately after the session, they will get a feedback form as a push notification. So they don't even need to go to the app to look for the feedback form for that session. It will just pop up in their home feed, which will also probably, we hope, increase the response rate on those feedbacks.
Good point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
My side, even I am an attendee. If I sent a feedback, it's just before during the event or something like that. Otherwise, I know that I will forget. I will never do it.
However, what we do for the Collab Summit is we basically, before we publish, we keep our feedback open also to the speakers. In my opinion, speakers should know the feedback same as we do. But what we do, before we open the feedback to the speakers, we go to that and remove junk. And when I say we remove junk, I say we remove session was great, but the room was cold. We remove those because this does not have any this does not have any weight. This is just basically being a junk comment. We remove junk, and when we are, or any profanity or anything like that, when we remove that, then we open the feedback to the speakers. However, one last thing I want to say, that when we say we make the next conference based also on the feedback, we do, but every speaker is entitled for a bad day. Every human is entitled for a bad day. There's nothing wrong with that. This is all good. I remember at our last conference seeing that one speaker who is usually completely stellar rocket 5-star speaker had got relatively not low but moderate ratings. And then I remembered that he told me that one of his best friend died just 2 days before. And this is those things you need to always account that. He will always be a good speaker. He's entitled for a bad day. He's entitled to a bad day, and we should not be judging that too much.
Yeah.
Exactly. We're just human beings. All right, so we're running out of time. Dear attendees, please share your feedback, since we're talking about feedback, in the comments. Thank you so much, Aurélien, for being with us today and sharing all the comments, all the insights. Really appreciate that. Thank you, Adis. And thank you, everybody, once again. See you next time. The information about the next webinar will be published on our Run events.
Yeah, I need to add on this one. Why are we not publishing for the next day? Because Eddie and me will be basically underwater for the next 4 weeks preparing European Collaboration Summit, European Cloud Summit. As soon as we are in the breathing condition again, we are going to publish the dates for the next one. Thank you, everybody, for listening and for being with us.
Thank you.